So there's something about having a plant in the home that is just so refreshing, so inviting. I didn't do a post-chemo video this week, but this is my version of that. I've experienced a lot of heartache since my last round of chemo, just realizing that people aren't who they say that they are, and realizing that, you know, my place in other people's lives really isn't what I thought it is, and understanding that everyone doesn't have my heart. I have to constantly remind myself of that, because I'm open, you know. I don't have fraudulent energy, you know. When I love someone and care about them, I do my best, you know, not to treat them poorly. I'm not perfect. I don't always get it right. I don't always make the right decisions, but I don't go out of my way to treat others poorly, you know, for my own ambition, selfish ambitions. Not in this season of my life, not at this level of adulthood, you know, because God is just working on me in that way, and I'm forever grateful. But I also have to be more discerning, because everybody isn't like that. You know, other people don't have the same heart as me, and it's difficult to come to terms with that, because you want, you know, you hope for the best. You hope that you can maintain friendships and connections with people, but not everyone has the maturity to be honest. And I get it. I understand now more than ever that everybody can't be honest about how I fit into their lives. And some people just really don't care. And I have to accept that. I have to be okay that, you know, someone may have said that they care about you and they'd show up, but the reality is that's not the case, you know? Selfish ambition is something that I am no longer interested in overlooking, and I never should have, you know. It's just a part of my discernment that God is teaching me right now, and I'm grateful. It hurts. It's extremely hurtful, because you want to love others. You don't want to have to be in a position to need to forgive someone, but sometimes you really do just have to forgive and keep it moving. You have to just forgive yourself for accepting less than you deserve, and forgive others for treating you as if that was all you were worth, and never allow them access again. And so that's where I'm at. That is what planting repotting these plants is really a representation of. Changing my environment and allowing myself to grow in a new space, in a healthy space, in a space that I have cultivated myself, and that has the space and the opportunity for me to grow. I'm not overly crowded. I have exactly what I need here. I lack nothing. And it's beautiful. Just the importance of your environment, and the importance of holding space for yourself and not allowing anyone else to gaslight you about what it is that you need, because it'll show up in the way that you grow, you know? If you're not in the right environment, you're not gonna have the right exposure to the things that you need, the right exposure to the growth that requires you to be your greatest self, to flourish, to blossom. And I am like an everlasting flower, and I require the right environment to truly blossom. These are just little pieces from the plant that I just repotted. I don't know, I've never done this before, taking pieces from another plant and put it in a new pot. And I know that this particular plant is very famous for that. So we're just trying something out right here. I'm making a mess. Please ignore the mess. Sometimes you have to make a mess to get the results that you need, to get everything in the right space. Sometimes it does require a little bit of a mess. So hopefully the roots are good. And I always take a little bit of the soil from the previous potting and add it to new soil, because although you're not meant to take, you know, anything that is unnecessary with you on your journey in your new season, but some things are meant to be saved, like just particularly the lessons that you learned in your previous season. Like, of course you want to take that stuff with you so that you can be better equipped to handle those similar scenarios in your future, but also, you know what to leave behind. Everything isn't meant to go with you. Everyone cannot go with you. And so with that, we have new outlooks, new lessons to be learned, and a new environment to grow and to flourish and to sustain what it is that we're taking with us, what it is that God has for us in our new season. You know, it's all a matter of knowing and sustaining, doing the work and sustaining that growth. Like, there's nothing worse than like going through a lesson, understanding the lesson, and then you go into a new season and you completely forget what it is that you've learned. You repeat the cycle and you have to go through it all over again. Like, I've found myself in that space often, but also in relearning the lesson, I'm reminded what it is that I have to remember and take with me. And so there's still growth there, you know, slow and steady, but there's definitely still growth. And look at this beauty. I think I'm gonna put this one in Eden's room. We all deserve new life, right? There's one. I have one more that I'm repotting. I probably should pour this one in. Let's pour this one in. I had one of these plants in my previous home and I loved it. I had it when it was pretty small and it grew nice and tall. Like, not like tall, but like I ended up repotting it in a fairly larger plant pot. And I saw it in Walmart today and I'm just like, it immediately stuck out to me and I knew that I needed it. Not just because of the history that I have with this plant, but also the colors are very representative and vibrant. And also, so this is a bright plant. weekly water. So this is technically a high maintenance plant, but also just depending on the potting, the soil, you know, will always determine exactly how, look at that. Look at those roots, beautiful. It'll determine how well it'll do in the environment. So right now the water is wet. I believe when I was in the plant area, they had, oh no, they had just watered the plants. So I won't have to water this baby for maybe a week or so. We shall see. I'm gonna see. Ugh. All right, I don't know what to do about this. This is a little difficult. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to break the plant, but also the roots are in the pot. All right, let's see. Let's wiggle you out. This is soaking. This soil is soaking wet. They should not have. No. All right. Let me figure this out. How do I do this? I think to push the roots out. That's helpful. I did it! Yay! All right. So we're gonna loose this because this is all wet and nasty. We don't like that. I don't like that. So that means I'm gonna need more soil from the bag. This is bad. Why would they do that? Why would they soak this in water this way? Oh boy, no. All right. I'm just going to mix this up. I love getting my hands dirty with this. I have gloves. Like literally, I brought a glove out. But something about interacting with the soil is very therapeutic to me, especially right now. Since I've been feeling very lonely and isolated, this physical touch, this activation of my senses is very helpful. So, all right. So nice. I'm so excited. All right, I gotta make sure that these leaves are spread out enough. Spread out enough. Perfect. All right, that is my lesson on repotting and readjusting your environment to live the life that you deserve. Love yourself enough. This is a reminder to myself to love myself enough to change my environment, even when it's painful, even when it's messy. You know, I deserve to grow in the space that I'm designed to, in the space that honors me